What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros here. Chargers have hired a new safety coach after Chris O'Leary left for Western Michigan. So let's get to understand a little bit more about Adam Fuller from Florida State as our safeties coach. So let's get into it, guys. Bolt Bros, let's go.
Bolt Bros.
All right, guys. Once again, James from Bolt Bros here. Love to be able to hear from you guys in the comments below. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not. We appreciate all the love and support. So, once again, quick video on this. Let's just learn a little bit more about Adam Fuller as our new safeties coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. So, he actually comes from Florida State, was the defensive coordinator there since 2020. He did get let go mid-season last year, but once again, you always think about hires like this. I think about when free agents get picked up. I think of all these different things. Why would you pick up a guy from, say, college rankings? And why is there a connection, or where's the connection there? Think about it. Florida State, we got Asante Samuel Jr., obviously. He did actually, I believe, coach Asante Samuel Jr. while he was there for a bit. And then also, you got Derwin James. So you start kind of putting together guys that might fit well. And it's kind of go back to that whole Shane Day conversation. Bringing back Shane Day back from when went to the Texans, and then he came back to the Chargers. Got let go, obviously, with under BS, or also known as Brandon Staley. And you know what, Jim? I'm sure Jim Harbaugh talked with, Justin Herbert and said, "Hey, man, who do you want for your quarterback coach?" And he's like, "Well, man, I'll take Shane Day all day." So bring him back, and I think that's one thing that I think Jim Harbaugh does a pretty good job. And at least maybe I'm just looking into a little heavily, but I'm sure he communicates with his players and saying, "Hey, who do you want for your coach?" And you know what? Maybe they talked with Asante. Maybe they talked with Derwin, said, "Hey, let's bring this guy over, Adam Fuller. He's a pretty solid guy all around." And, here he is. He's a safeties coach now. Now, the one thing that I really appreciate about Adam Fuller, obviously he's got a lot of experience in a lot of different levels, was a player also at the linebacker level too. But the thing is, though, I kept thinking about with our safety group played extremely well under Chris O'Leary. He did a phenomenal job with that group. And there was a lot of plug and play players, Tony Jefferson to Elijah Molden to, May, all of these guys, and really had to move things around. And we got a lot of production out of them. And they did extremely, extremely well under Chris O'Leary, and they produced well. One thing I was thinking is that we did a good job for turnovers, right? Well, I was looking at Adam Fuller's Instagram, and kind of made me feel good. He's got this whole thing about mission takeaway, and it's all these different things that, as a defensive coordinator, defensive players making interceptions, picks, fumble recoveries during whatever period, 1-on-1, 7 versus 7, all these things. He has a lot of these pictures on his Instagram of people making things happen through turnovers. And I'm sure, to me, that's what I want to see. A guy wants to get turnovers. I mean, what do they talk about this year is that, sacks and drives, interceptions win games. And that's a big thing, that in the defensive backfield, they got to be those guys to basically get picks for this team and end games for us. So once again, now he's going from a defensive coordinator to just a safeties coach. He's only going to coach one individual group now, which is great. He could emphasize this mission takeaway for those guys. Derwin might have a killer year, Alohi Gilman to Elijah Molden, like all these guys. I mean, once again, we got to re-sign Elijah Molden, but I assume he's going to come back. But, bottom line, you want to see this guy want to emphasize takeaways. And that's going to be a great thing to be able to see for this group for the safeties next year. So let's get into it and just look at real quick about who Adam Fuller is as a coach and player and such. So he went to school at Sacred Heart as a linebacker. That's his alma mater. After he was done playing in 98, he went to WPI as a linebacker coach. 1999 to 2000, he was a Wagner linebacker coach. Stayed at Wagner till about 2004. Had various positions as a special teams defensive back, co-DC also too. Then in 2005, went to Richmond as a defensive back coach. 2006 to 2007 was a special team linebacker coach. And then became a head coach over at Assumption for 2008. Didn't have the best of situation, but he's got some head coaching experience. He had 10 games there, went 1-9, not the prettiest, but Basically, then went to Chattanooga as a DC and was a DC from 2009 to 2012. Then got to Marshall as an assistant head coach and linebacker coach from 2013 to 2016. Kept the assistant head coaching position in 2017, and then was a special team linebacker coach. And then 2018 defensive safeties coach, 2019 Memphis as a defensive coordinator. So jumped back into the full DC position. And then 2020 to 2024, he was a Florida State DC. Now he is his first time in the NFL now as a safeties coach. So, I always kind of think, like, why would we bring over a guy from college for a safety position and everything too, or bring him over as a coach or whatnot? Andrew and I chatted a little bit about this, and we're thinking, hey, maybe they're just trying to add some more youth, some more experience, bring in a guy that could kind of get his feet wet in the NFL versus some guys that are basically like let's say Matt Rule, a guy that maybe just went from college to NFL and it was just a bad situation to kind of have a full jump over to a head coach. Get into a system, allow to learn the Harbaugh system, be able to thrive within that system. Chris O'Leary went from a great 1 year with the Chargers to a defensive coordinator at Western Michigan. Now, once again, he's been in the Harbaugh system, developed that system. Never know where Chris O'Leary, maybe he does a great job at Western Michigan, finds his way back into the NFL as a defensive coordinator. Sometimes you got to take those leaps to be able to get to that next level. So who knows? Maybe Adam Fuller could be a great guy to be able to help out also with the draft too. Maybe his conference obviously is a very strong conference, a lot of talent all around. Maybe there's some guys that we're looking at Florida State. I don't know. But bottom line, bringing more talent, more youth, more, juice to this team to be able to help out with drafts, and also guys that actually seem to have a system in place to be able to be a turnover type machine kind of guy. I think that's great. I'm looking forward to it, to be able to see what he does with Adam Fuller as our safeties coach. And I'm sure Derwin James is pretty happy about it. Sante Samuel Jr. We'll see if he's going to be able to be with the team next year. But I'm sure they're happy to be able to see another Florida State guy on this team. So I want to be able to hear from you guys on this. What's your thoughts about Adam Fuller being on this team? I think it's a good position, a good addition to this team. I think it's great to be able to add more college experienced guys to the NFL, hopefully to be able to allow them to learn more the Harbaugh way and to be able to go out there and develop as a coach with this team. So want to be able to hear from you guys. Throw in the comments below your thoughts about the Adam Fuller hiring. And once again, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not. And we appreciate all the love and support, guys. So once again, James from Bolt Bros. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.